Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be me telling my version of Crash Bash 2 or the Crash Bash Remake. It's like my wish list, what I think would be really cool, and I think it's going to span over a couple episodes. So the first episode, I'm just going to talk about the roster and how I would handle it, because I see people putting up their stuff and there's no rhyme or reason to any of it. Like, just looking at the basic original roster, you have 2 balanced characters, 1 brawler, and then 1 tail sweeper. Crash and Coco are the balanced, as are Cortex and Brio. Then the brawlers are Tiny Tiger and Koala Kong, and then the tail sweepers we have Dingo Dial and we have Rillaroo. Now, when I see people's fan tier lists or character selection lists, I just see all sorts of characters thrown all over, and they don't explain who's on what side or anything. But for me, I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. I'm not gonna have the groups the way they are here, and like I said, this is my wish list, and I hope I explain it well enough. And next episode will be something else of my Crash game, of my Crash Bash 2 or Crash Bash Remastered or whatever. I haven't decided on my title for the game yet. But anyway, so here's the original roster, and now I'm just going to move on and show my character selection screen. So right off the bat, for the good side, I have Crash and Coco for the balanced characters. Tiny has been swapped out with Crunch. And for the tail sweeper character, I put in the Crash 4 version of Tawna. She has the grappling hook, so I think for her tail whip style attack, she can just shoot out her grappling hook and spin around. So that is Team Aku Aku, or good side. And then we move directly onto the evil side, Uka Uka's team. I swapped out Brio for Engine. So now you have Cortex and Engine as the balanced characters. Brio will always be in his mutated form, his giant muscly form, so he'll be the brawler. And then, just like I said, Tawna can shoot her grappling around. Nina Cortex can shoot her arms out and spin and do a spin attack. So that's my first and my second grouping. As you can see, there's a lot of black left, so I'm just going to jump right into the next one. We have the Team Twister, so like Time Twister Machine. For my balanced characters, it's going to be the Tropies, and they're going to use their pitchfork. They can pick up crates and boxes, similar to how Cortex and Brio use their laser gun to grab the boxes and then shoot them a little bit. So I'm going to have those two doing that with their scepters. Then we're going to have Entrance in his big mech suit, so he's able to lift boxes and throw them, so he'll be the brawler for that side. And then poor old Dingo Dial has got mind controlled again by Entrance, and he is going to be the tail sweeper of the team, which I think is fitting because in the original game he was forced to be on the good guys team, and now in this game he's going to be forced to be on the Time Twisters. And then we're going to move on to the next group. So I couldn't really think of a name for this team, but they are all bosses that you fight in Crash Bandicoot 2. So for the balanced characters, you have the Komodo brothers. Then the brawler is Tiny. And then for the tail swipe, you got Ripperoo. And I also gave them the gems so they're Team Gem. I put them that way because in Crash 2, they were working with Brio to get the gems to defeat Cortex. It's kind of loose, but that's what I decided to do for those guys. And we're going to continue on here. Team Motor World. We've got Chicken Stew as the balanced characters. Ebenezer Von Clutch as the brawler because he is a cyborg. I know his arms are kind of flimsy looking, but for this game, he's going to be able to chuck crates really far and stuff. And then Pasadena has the long tail, so she's going to be the tail sweeper for this team. So as you can see, I'm trying to be consistent. I'm going to have two balanced characters that are somewhat connected, like the two Tropies, the two brothers, the two chickens. Um, I didn't say this when I was talking about the Uka Uka team, but Engine's going to have a little laser pistol like Brio had in the game. Even though he doesn't normally have a laser pistol and he battles in mechs, I figured as far as being doctors and that being a group with Nina, that it would fit well. But yeah, so Team Motor World, we've got Chick Stew, Ebenezer Von Clutch, and Pasadena. And now I'm going to jump into the last team of this side. And it is Team Velo or Team Gazmoxia. I haven't really decided yet. So Zem and Zam are the balance characters. Then you have Fake Velo in his giant robotical suit, so he'll be the brawler for that team. And then N Oxide will be the tail swiper for this one. He doesn't have a tail, but he has extra legs, so I figure he could do like a spin attack like Crash or Dingodile, because it's based off the Dingodile character type. So he could stick out his extra legs and do his spin attack, and that'll work like a tail swipe, even though it's not a tail. So it's like Tawna and Nina, how we're improvising with the tail technique. But yeah, so that's Team Velo. And now this next team, this team's pretty funny, and I hope you guys like this one. We got Team Fake Aku Aku. So there's going to be a new mask. He's going to be the Fake Aku Aku mask. And I have the fake characters. So we have the two Fake Crash and Fake Coco. They will be the balance characters. Then we have Tiny from Mind Over Mutant, or Crash of the Titans. And they might as well be different characters at this point, because in Crash on the Run, Tiny has returned back to his Tasmanian tiger form. So maybe we can get an explanation somewhere that this is the fake Tiny. And then the original Rillaroo that was in Crash Team Racing Nitro Fuel that looked really gross before Fixed Rillaroo came out, he can be the fake Rillaroo. So for the fake team, you have Fake Crash, Fake Coco, Fake Tiny, Fake Rillaroo. And they're all led by Fake Aku Aku there. And now we're going to move on to the next team. We've got Team Energon. That's the power source that the evil twins were using in Crash Twinsanity. So for the two balance characters, we're going to have the little evil twins there, and they have their little hover chairs, and they can go around and throw boxes and stuff. Why Koala Kong and Rillaroo were put with the evil twins is just something that I couldn't figure out where to put them in order to keep the theming of the teams. So we have the twins, Koala Kong, and Rillaroo. So I pretty much just swapped them out from the original team and just popped them there. I mean, in the first game, Tiny and Dingodile were swapped to a random team. So I figured these guys are evil. The twins were evil. For the expanded story, maybe they just kidnapped them. Team Energon. Okay, we're moving on. Team Mafia with the crystal. So this one, I apologize on the images there. You guys might not even know who these characters are. We have Pinstripe Potteroo, who's the Mafia boss. And then these next two pictures, we have this one here. His name is Slim, and this one is Fat. Slim and Fat. Slim was in the Toxic Waste, or not the Toxic Waste level, maybe Cortex Power? I'm not too sure. It was on the final island, and he would hide behind, and he would shoot the guns, and Crash would have to go get him. And then Fat was the big guy who would throw the barrels of Toxic Waste in the Toxic Waste levels. They've made appearances on the new Crash Team Racing game, Nitro Fueled, in the Sewer Speedway level, and in Hot Air Skyway. So if you weren't too sure who they are, check them out in that level. And then for the Tail Swiper, we've got the original Tawna. Because she's not with Crash, I guess this is just going off of the whole Tawna and Pinstripe ended up as a team. I'm not too sure how she's going to be a Tail Swiper, but I wanted to include her in the team, and it fit well. So if you guys have any ideas on how she can be a Tail Swiper with like a Mafia-related weapon, let me know in the comment section. Like maybe she can hold a Tommy gun, and she could spin around in a circle and fire the Tommy gun as a spin attack. But Yeah, that's as much thought as I got for the Mafia Crystal team. And then we're gonna move on to the next team. We have the Trophy Girls or the Nitro Squad, whatever you want to call them. So for this one, similar, we have Isabella and Liz. They're just going to be the balance characters, and then Amy has been the muscle girl. I don't know how that became a thing, but she's the muscle girl. So she's going to be chucking the crates really far and stuff. And then for Megumi here, I think I was going to give her a whip attack so she could spin with a whip. So that would like emulate the tail swiper. And I got two more teams, so I'm just going to jump right into it because this video is getting a little too long. And then we have Team Crumb. If you guys don't know who the Crumb crew is, we have Digger a Skeleton, Thorn Thing, who's actually on Crash on the Run, Grumbler, who's a mummy, and then Mr. Crumb himself. So Thorn Thing and Digger look to be tiny, so I would make them the balance characters. Then we have Grumbler, the big mummy guy, which he's big, so he's going to be the brawler for this team. And then Mr. Crumb has the big long ghost tail that he could use as a tail swiping attack. And now we're going to jump into the last team of my roster. This is the Boom Bang team or the Viscount team. Pretty much, these imagers were really hard to come by, so I'm apologetic to you guys. Their team icon is the big super power crystal that Viscount was seeking out. The two balance characters are going to be the Bandicoot girls that were in the mini games. Since they originated in Boom Bang, I've dubbed one of them Boomy and the other Bangs, like hair bangs. So like, if I was more artistic, I would have drawn pictures of them. Boomy's going to be kind of like gruff looking, and she's going to have one of those rolling bombs from Crash Team Racing tattooed on her arm. And then Bangs is going to be like, she's going to be like maybe like a rocker girl, and she's going to have extra long bangs. And then for the brawler type, we have Viscount, which doesn't really make sense, but let me show you what I'm talking about. So again, this is really low quality. I'm sorry. Boom Bang stuff is really hard to come by because nobody really cares about the game, and even on the online encyclopedias, there's not much stuff to go off of image-wise. But I got this off of a playthrough video, and in the boss battles, Viscount, or I keep saying Viscount, his name is Viscount, or the Viscount, but I say Viscount. I apologize. But anyway, so he's in this giant mech suit, and you have to fight him. So for this game, for my Crash Bash sequel, Remake, Viscount would always be in this battle mech. It would be short. It obviously wouldn't be that gigantic. It would just make him the normal size of all the other brawler characters, and he would walk around in the mech suit, and he would just like toss the crates across the arena. The only issue I ran into is there's only 3 characters for the Boom Bang team, so I'm gonna have to do another playthrough myself if I could find the game, or I'll try and watch a watch through and see if there's any other characters in that game that I could include as the tail swiper for the Viscount team. But I'm already over 12 minutes here, so I don't want to keep you guys on too much longer. So that's my character roster. They're all, as far as I was able to do, they got the 2 balance characters, the brawler and the tail swiper. In the next video, I'm going to explain the bosses, so if you don't see some characters that you wanted to see in the game, they're probably going to be in the boss levels of my Crash Bash Remake. So, with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any tips that you think I should have included, or things that you would change, let me know. And we'll see you in the next video. You take care. Goodbye.